Are you tired of just taking photos on your phone and just showing them to your friends? You're like, man, I really wish I could have some cool photos. Well, now you can. If you go to my Instagram at Photos by Mike's Production, you can edit these things for you. As a production, we'll take you out completely of the first photo that we're gonna need full frame on, and we'll go and put you in a new background, a new setting, a new scene, and we'll basically add all the cool colors, basically blend you together, and make a really cool composite photo for you that you're gonna go like, wow, this is really dope. So head over to Photos by Mike's Production on Instagram. Links in the description below, and we can start editing your photos so you can start posting to your friends and to Instagram, to Facebook, to wherever you want to post to show your friends these really cool photos by Photos by Mike's Production. Let's get on with the video. What's going on, YouTube? My phone just did an update, and it was like, do you want to update your device? I'm like, oh, hell no. Anyways, now that I got your attention. So, I post a lot of these cool, like, how-to videos on TikTok. If you want to follow me, links in the description, Crazy Mike's Life. So, we're going to talk about it on here. This is going to be my first little video on YouTube on how-to. How to do photography. What is the best lens? What is the best camera? Let's get it going. Okay, so this is going to be one of these, like, talking head videos. So, just bear with me. I'm not going to make this too crazy. So, let's go. Cameras, lenses, what should I buy? How do I take photos? What are all these things, right? Alright, when I was first starting, I did a lot of like certification classes, like how do I do Photoshop, went and did that. Like basically it's like how to work my camera. My first camera was a Canon point and shoot lens. So let me show you that actually. If I had it on me, I would show you, but I have to go to the internet. Give me un momento. So it's one of these bad puppies right here. Good old classic point and shoot camera. Like, this information is free on the internet. You can learn anything on YouTube. Because people will talk about it. The internet's crazy. It's like when you first find out about the internet. Oh, that reminds me of Family Guy. I'm totally off topic, but I just want to, like, kind of... You remember Family Guy when Quagmire found out about the internet? His hand was all... anyways, that shit was funny. Anyways, yeah. So that's my first camera. It's like a Canon point and shoot, and everybody's like, dude, you got some really cool photos. Like, yeah, man, thank you, that's cool. It was like, but I had no idea how to edit them. I was just like, you know what I mean? Just taking random ass photos. But then I evolved, obviously, and got a Nikon D3200. And then I was taking a lot of like certification classes in Arlington, learning like what is ISO, what the hell, shutter speed, f-stop, and like frame rate, and these are all like the normal terms you would hear just in photography, and especially in film and everything like that, right? So ISO is basically just brightening up the photo. Like in camera, it's brightening up the photo. F-stop is basically how much detail you want to see. Like, okay, picture me, and if you want the background to like be blurry, you're gonna need to be at a higher f-stop, basically. If you want me really like in detail with less light, give me 1 second. Let me go to the internet again. Okay, as you can see right here on Google, if I was doing a PowerPoint, we would nail this. Anyways, so basically, okay, if you're at a f-stop at f2.8, as you can see, there's gonna be more light let into the lens. Now, if you want something to be really sharp and less light to be, less light to come through the lens, you're going to be at a f22. So as this says here, right, like your larger aperture, more light, like basically less light, smaller aperture. Mike, you are nailing this presentation. Hell yeah. But that's basically what it is. Also, you get a shallow depth of field with lower f-stops, and also more sharpness, like I said, with higher f-stop, like f22. And that's what it says also. Shutter speed is basically... I'm gonna try to show you because you can hear it, but basically all it is, okay, your shutter speeds, it literally goes by seconds, right? So if you're at 1/3 of a second, it's gonna go like it's gonna go slow. If you're at like, okay, so think of it as like if you're at 1/125th of a second, like that's the like frame rate. It's gonna go it's sound like a machine gun, or like even 1/80th of a second, 160. It's still gonna be pretty fast, but not as fast as 1/25th, obviously. So like, okay, in these situations with the shutter speed 1/25th of a second, you're gonna like use this as like if you're trying to stop people who are running, right? Like action shots, and you have to like fix your camera so they don't end up blurry. But it's more like action shots, right? If you want to like stop a waterfall, you're gonna need a higher shutter speed, basically. So that's all the stuff that's there. Oh, yeah, just put on this suit. Do you trust me more? I was trying to do something a couple seconds ago, but you know, that was at the very start of the video. Anyways, let's talk about cameras, what lens is good, and how do I start taking photos? All right, let's start with the obvious. How do I start taking photos? You start by starting. And my first photo, oh, actually, my first ever photo is probably on the Canon point and shoot, but I'll throw up an example right here. This double exposure is not the best. I did something earlier actually, and it was pretty decent. But like okay, so with photography, right, how you take photos is like, don't think of it as a bad thing. Like, you're going to get a lot of blurry photos, a lot of white photos, like, because you're trying to understand your f-stops and you're trying to understand your ISO. Like, why is this? Trust me, I was frustrated from the get with my D3200. Like, I was like, I don't understand. But it's okay. So, like, Nikon D3200, a Sony, Lumix, Canon, whatever it is whatever you feel comfortable with. That's the camera you want, right? Like, I mean, you can buy it because of the brand too, but that's on you. That's like a you thing. But totally, it's like, I feel comfortable using my Nikon. I get it. I know the settings. Same thing with Sony. Same thing Canon. Same thing with Lumix. Like, that's what you're comfortable with, honestly. And the lenses, that's gonna depend. Like, I really like 24-70 because that gives you more like that kind of like portrait photography lens. The 35 is very versatile. You can get, like, picture me and the background be blurry. You could also get a 50mm lens. But these are going to differentiate between Canon, Sony, and Lumix. They're gonna have different lenses, like you name it. You have to find what's good there too. But they all, in general sense, they're all gonna do the same thing. It just depends on how you're going to edit, right? So these cameras are going to be a little bit pricey, but yeah, don't get frustrated. Don't be like, oh, this is a bad thing. I can't, like, nah, don't do that. It's like, yeah, you'll be okay. So cameras, you can probably, I'm gonna guesstimate, so maybe 400 to 800 with a stock lens. You can actually go to Facebook Marketplace probably, and you find it a lot cheaper. Maybe hopefully $200 for the entire like camera, and you can go out and take photos. Like me and a friend of mine actually, a couple weeks ago, I helped him like go and like take these really cool photos at night, like night photography. It was fun, and I carried this around, my little light wand that I'm using right now. But yeah, it was cool, man. It was like, thanks for the photos, bro. This is really cool. I'm like, yeah, no problem. Like, you know what I mean? It was fun. Like, okay, this is how you like use your Canon. And we went to, what was it, like South Congress? Not sorry. Yeah, it was South Congress. Yeah, so we went to South Congress, and yeah, we were like taking some really cool photos, and like he got this one of me like kind of at an angle. I was like, dude, that's fire. That's sick, bro. I was like, yeah, it's literally what you're like, whatever you specialize in is what you need to get really good at to be able to like kind of market yourself that way, right? And I got really good with Photoshop. So like these photos right here, and you can check it out in the description below as well. I have photos by Mike's production. But yeah, it's like, it's cool, right? It's like, I can take some pretty good photos, and then also I'm good at editing. So it's like, this is my skill. Like I said, whatever your skill is, like, get really good at that, and then find whatever your specialty is to you, and then just go from there. And then that's kind of how you like start your business. Oh yeah, like, who am I, Pete McKinnon? What's up? Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. It's kind of like a how-to, like, how do you use your camera, what's the best lens, how do I start. Like, this was a fun video, a fun how-to video just for you. But yeah, make sure you subscribe and like the video to see more of these kind of things. It was kind of my first how-to video, and I do a lot of this stuff on TikTok as well. So if you want to check that out, it's at Crazy Mike's Life. Like I said, in the description below. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Let's see how I edit it.